Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes Reacts. I suggest you don't drink every time I say something stupid, you lightweight.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Taking a shot. I may contain peanuts.
It's true. Collectively we are the Office Blokes.
Yes, we are.
I may say two stupid things per video, so if two drinks gets you pissed,
Some people out there will be absolutely rolling about now.
Don't take it personal.
sort it out, mate.
Haters will hate. Fuck them.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, we're the Office Blokes and we have
We have a Patreon channel. Yeah, go and have a look at patreon.com, put in Office Blokes Reacts, and yeah, go and have a look at our channel.
Yeah, also got
Office Blokes Try.
Yeah.
Try channel. Get over there. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell
Yep,
on
come
there.
on.
Nothing on there yet, but they will be soon.
we've got over 1,000 subs, haven't we now?
Oh, we have.
Doing well.
Yeah,
Terrific.
Brilliant. Crazy. Yeah, so this is a Patreon request from our good friend Colleen. Again.
Colleen's had about 100 requests.
Yeah. Definitely getting your money's worth out of this, Colleen, that's for sure. Good job, it's fun to say your name. So how the universe is way bigger than you think.
I think it's pretty big.
It's at least that big, I'd say. At least.
I've seen one of them
bit more
videos,
than
when
that.
it shows where you are, and then it sort of like pans out and it pans out, and it shows, and then all of a sudden Earth disappears, and it shows that, and then that disappears. And
I think that's what this is going to be along the lines of this sort of video. Yeah,
I've just ruined it.
probably. Yeah, you've just ruined it. But yeah, apparently the universe is always expanding and contracting. Though there's two theories, isn't there? There's the one where I always get slated when I say something.
Black hole.
Yeah. Whenever I say something like it's a fact, I get slated because I'm usually wrong. But there's the one where the universe is constantly expanding, but there's another theory where it's
Big
expanding.
box, little box.
Yeah. Well,
You
no,
don't see that.
that's the second theory where it's expanding and contracting all the time.
I've not seen that one. Fair enough.
It's definitely a theory because I've said it on the internet.
Must be right then.
Yeah, so we get into it then.
Yeah, go on.
Let's do it.
This is Earth. You live here on this planet somewhere, and everything that you've ever known is located right here. But just how small exactly is Earth when compared to the scale of the...
I've got a problem with that straight off the bat.
No.
Everything you've ever known is located here. What about the sun?
Yeah.
Well, you know it in terms of from the Earth.
No, I know it from
Yeah,
outer
no,
space.
Well, fair
When
point.
I look at the sun or the moon, I'm not looking at it inside Earth, am I?
I suppose ultraviolet rays, you could say then, because they allow us to have life.
Here we go.
It's going to be a long video if we keep on.
entire universe. Let's start by zooming out to where we can see our nearest cosmic neighbor, the Moon. You may think that the Moon is very close to Earth since it dominates our night skies, but in reality the Moon isn't this close to our planet, it's actually about this far away. 384,400 kilometers away from you right now on average. You could fit 30 entire Earths in between this distance, and if you somehow were able to drive a car at a constant 100 kilometers per hour speed, it would take you about 160 days to drive the entire distance. Despite this incredible distance, however, 12 humans have actually set foot here, representing the furthest away that any individual human has ever been away from the Earth, and one of humanity's greatest achievements.
I saw the flag move, it's fake. It's not true.
Shadows are both ways as well. You notice that?
We landed on the moon. I
don't
fully,
doubt that.
I fully
Yeah,
believe
I don't
it.
doubt that, but shadows about what causes that? For shadows to be both ways.
Don't know. The sun being right there, and then you've got...
Can't be the moon because you're on the moon.
True. I don't know.
Yeah, you can only have one shadow, surely.
Depends how many light sources, doesn't it? Might have a
Maybe
torch. Might have been dark at that time on the moon, and they just had a big
No,
spotlight.
you can't go to the dark side of the moon.
The Chinese own it, apparently.
This is what the Earth would look like from there if you were standing there with them. And if you wanted to communicate with somebody back at home, it would take a message about 2.5 seconds to travel between you and them, since that's how fast the speed of light can travel at. This is a photo that was taken on Mars, and that tiny dot that you see there is Earth as seen from the Martian surface. On average, Mars is an incredible 225 million kilometers away from Earth, but that distance can be as high as 401 million kilometers. That means that whenever humanity finally gets around to landing a human on the planet, that person will be 986 times further away from Earth than the astronauts who landed on the moon were.
Wow.
In addition, the time delay for sending a message from Mars back to Earth isn't just 2.5 seconds, it's actually more like 20 minutes each direction. which would render instant communication in the event of an emergency.
That's why we need 5G. Speed it up a bit.
Yeah. Apparently 5G is going to give us back the curvature of the Earth, and it's going to go around and become a sphere again. You know, because it flattened out because we didn't have 5G.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Possible. When we zoom out even further away, we can find the Voyager 1 space probe, which is the furthest away man-made object from Earth. It is currently located 138 AUs from the Earth. AU meaning astronomical unit, which is the distance between the Earth and the Sun, which means that Voyager 1 is 138 times further away from us than the Sun is.
Wow.
At some point on its long voyage, Voyager 1 turned its camera around and took this photograph. It may not look like much at first, but in my opinion, this is the greatest single photograph ever taken in all of human history. This tiny, pale blue dot is Earth, and I don't think that anybody has ever said something as amazing about this as Carl Sagan when he said, "If you look at it, you see a dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever lived out their lives. The aggregate of all our joys and sufferings, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and every forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilizations, every king and every peasant, every young couple in love, every hopeful child, every mother and every father, every inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician,
Can we get it?
every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. Voyager 1 is...
I like that.
Could just say everyone.
I know.
Yeah, but you got to dramatise it. Are
I
you
love that though. I love the fact we're fucking nothing.
Well, that was going to be my question.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
one of those people who takes solace in the fact that we're insignificant in the grand scheme of things, or are scared by it?
Makes me don't give a shit anymore.
Well, there's people who use that as their excuse to be nihilistic and go off the rails, and then there's people who see that as the meaning is the fact that it's freedom. We're insignificant in the grand scheme of things, so you focus on your life and your.
This would have been better on the beer.
On the should have got stoned for this.
This is like pub talk. This is proper pub talk, isn't it?
Oh,
It is,
definitely,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I just love the fact that we mean nothing.
I find that
We're
comforting.
so irrelevant.
I think
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
we're
the
so
angle I'm
irrelevant.
going. Yeah.
Yeah.
That you shouldn't have a worry, and you should never have a worry because we're so irrelevant.
Exactly. Go out and enjoy yourselves. Have fun.
But look after
That's
each
what you
other as well. That's the
We've
thing.
got to look after each
Absolutely,
other.
yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we're so irrelevant. I love that.
currently traveling at
Not the
17
office blokes.
kilometers
No,
every
just you.
single second.
Just you
but
two.
even at that speed, it won't break out of the reach of our solar system for another 30,000 years. Once we go beyond the solar system, we
about
arrive
your
in our
age.
interstellar neighborhood. Here we shift to the light year unit of measurement, which is the distance that light travels in a full Earth year, or about 9.461 trillion kilometers. The star Proxima Centauri here is the closest other star to us other than our Sun, but it's still 4.24 light years away from us. To put that into perspective, if it was heading in the right direction, it would still take Voyager 1 over 70,000 years to reach it. In other words, if you drove your car at 100 kilometers an hour like in our previous example to the moon, it
Wildly
would
not
take
scale.
over 6 times longer than the entire age of the universe is just to finally get there, and it wouldn't even exist still when you arrived. When
Wow.
we zoom out even further, we can see the entire Milky Way galaxy, inside of which Earth is located right here. This yellow dot is the furthest extent of humanity's radio broadcasts throughout history, which means that any possible aliens who live outside of this range are totally unaware of humanity's presence. It's complete silence outside of this yellow dot as far as we are currently aware, but the entire galaxy spans over 100,000 light years from end to end. There are over 100 billion stars and over 100 billion planets inside of our galaxy. But you have never seen the full glory of the galaxy at night, because 99% of the stars that you can see with the naked eye are limited to this small, tiny region right here. But even this massive galaxy is nothing compared to the rest of what's out there. Zooming out even further and we arrive at the local group of galaxies, a collection of 54 different galaxies that is about 10 million light years across. But zooming out even further, and we can see the Virgo supercluster, of which the local group here is just a tiny segment of.
My
There
head's
are
gone.
at least 100 other groups of galaxies just like our own local group inside of here, and the distance from one side to the other is a mind-numbing 110 million light years. But even the massive Virgo supercluster is nothing but a quiet,
Come off it.
tiny lobe of the
He's
Great
making it up.
Laniakea supercluster, an enormous structure that is home to our galaxy as well as 100,000 other galaxies. The distance from one side to the other is 520 million light years, but from even there we
There
can
we go.
zoom out all the way to the entire observable universe and see that even the titanic Laniakea supercluster is just a tiny and insignificant part of everything. This is the observable universe, and it contains everything that we know of. It is home to at least 2 trillion different and individual galaxies, which together contain more stars than there are grains of sand on the entire Earth. The distance from Earth to any side of the observable universe is 46.5 billion light years, which means that the entire width is 93 billion light years across. What's perhaps even more interesting, however, is what actually lies beyond the observable universe. Keep in mind that the observable universe is all that we can currently see, and it's entirely possible that the rest of the universe outside of it is vastly larger and more fantastic than we can possibly ever imagine. We simply don't know what else is out there because the light from these incredibly distant places has not yet had enough time in the universe's history to reach us yet back on Earth. And the light from some places may never reach us at all. Because some parts of space very far away from Earth are expanding away from us faster than the speed of light, that means that the light from these places will never, in an infinite amount of time, reach Earth. Meaning that even if humanity is eternal and exists forever, there will still be an unknown number of places in the universe that we will never know about or ever see. So, it is very likely that as unbelievably enormous as it seems, the observable universe is just a tiny slice of what we can currently see of the entire universe. According to the theory of cosmic inflation that was proposed by Dr. Alan Guth, if it is assumed that cosmic inflation began at 10 to the negative 37th of a second after the Big Bang, and with the assumption...
What the fuck does that mean?
I'm not sure about that. I'm sure I worked it out once and I didn't come up with that number.
My calculator doesn't have that many numbers.
I almost went cross-eyed when he said that.
When you're talking theory of cosmic inflation, don't get any bigger than that, does it? Cosmic inflation. That's what happens when Dave watches porn. He gets cosmic inflation.
Thanks. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah. Cosmic inflation.
Yeah, forget the universe being that big. It's cosmic inflation.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your hole, the black hole.
It's black hole.
The size of the universe before inflation began was equal to its age times the speed of light, then this would seem to suggest that at the present day, the entire universe is 150 sextillion times.
This is the sort of maths you get when the kids bring homework home, innit? And you try and help them with the maths and they go, yeah, it's 200 light years times, and you're just like, right, is that dinner ready?
Looks about right, that. Back in a minute.
I have it with Oscar where it's like, we talk about, he's only 5, bear in mind, how long till the coronavirus is going to go away. And then I say, might start getting back to normal in 6-7 weeks. Like 100 billion trillion years. Like
150 sextillion, selling.
150 sextillion reptilian years, then yeah.
I've never heard of sextillion.
No.
You're not a member of the right club.
It's a big number.
Times larger than the observable universe. That number for reference looks like this, with this many zeros. Let this number sink in for just a moment. This would be similar to you thinking that the entire
It's how much Jeff Bezos' wife got in a divorce.
Everything that you could see was the size of a light bulb, but then realizing that in reality the entire universe is larger than the former planet of Pluto. Imagine a light bulb in the center of Pluto, but we inside the light bulb were totally unaware that Pluto existed outside of it, and that's a similar situation.
So our universe is the light bulb, but within our universe we're the tiniest little grain of sand. So we're... it's
it's mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a bit.
To this. We are all so unbelievably small, but you shouldn't worry, because all that means is that there is so much left out there for us to discover together. This video was made possible by...
Wow, I think that's amazing.
It is.
My head's gone there.
There's some big numbers there. Big numbers.
Why, with all that space, why do they still build studio apartments?
Send them off to Mars.
Everyone should have a farm, like you, Dave. Farmers.
I'd love to have a farm. Don't want to be a conventional farmer. I just want to have land and walk around with a shotgun all day, shouting at people, "Get off my land!"
You do it anyway. You
can
might get
move
arrested.
You can move to like the planet Zog in the what was the
Fifth Element.
yeah, whatever it was, whatever he was referring to there. You can move to some planet Zog and have as much land as you want.
Sweet.
You just got to get there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when you get there, it won't be there.
Well, that's a problem. That's to me, that's just unbelievable.
It's
sort of numbers, though. It's,
Yeah, I mean, it's inconceivable that there's not life somewhere. But if you've got billions of planets and suns out there,
But when you narrow it down,
you know,
the way I always think about it, go the other way. Instead of going massively big on the sides of it, then you narrow it down just to you and where you live and what room you're in. When
Yeah.
you're in that little toilet having a shit, think about it. You're that little tiny dot in tiny dot in a tiny dot in a tiny dot, aren't you?
just a bit, yeah.
And that's how irrelevant we are.
but then think about a flea. You know, we're thinking of it in terms of ourselves, but think about that little thing that we're huge in comparison to, and how small the world is for a flea.
How's he going to feel?
Yeah, but they might have a different outlook on life.
Well, because you got to focus on what you can control, really. I do have a theory, and you can't disprove it, just like you can't disprove the stuff they're saying, it's theory, that a lot of this physics that they come out with, they're just making it up.
All right, big sigh.
Just making it up.
I think they just you get tenure at a university or whatever, and you're a teacher, and you've got to do physics for a living, so you just start coming up with these crazy ideas.
Yeah, big numbers. Yeah, that's how far away it is.
So you
That's
think
all
the
I've
world's
got to say,
flat and it's a glass
No,
ceiling?
No, I don't. I used to listen to Brian Cox's podcast years ago, and it was all about theoretical physics and stuff like that, but with a comedian thrown in. The Infinite Monkey Cage, it was called. And they were talking about string theory, where they've had to invent 11 other dimensions for the concept to work. And I was listening to that going, so it doesn't work then?
Yeah, if you have to invent something,
Yeah, you've got to invent new...
like make it up for their theory to work.
Yeah,
That's
but because we're nowhere near clever enough to disprove it or to even understand what they're talking about, I think some of them, I'm not saying all of them, but I think some of them are getting away with saying whatever they want. Just kick back and say, what can I say? Like, what can I make up today?
I'm not sure about that.
Good.
But yeah, it was
It's
mind blowing.
Yeah,
Mind blowing.
definitely.
That's what I'd do if I was a theoretical physicist.
You sound like one anyway, Dave.
And that's why you're not.
Yeah, it is why I'm not. I accept it. Well, that's you can have a drink now, because that was a stupid thing for me.
Yeah, there's the first. Was it the first one? I don't know.
Probably not.
Anyway, I hope that blown your mind too. And don't forget, like and subscribe, hit the bell. Catch you guys in the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.